Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANSgear. We're going to take a look at the KP pump. This is the 2011 version of the KP pump. So there are a couple different versions of this one. Obviously, there's different colors to the KP. There's also the KP Plus, I believe, which was the electric frame version of it. We're just going to solely face on the standard pump version right here. There's two different colors that they do. They do a camouflage or digi camo pattern, and they do a black like this one. So we're going to look at both of them real quick. We'll open this one up. You can see that's the black one. Pretty plain black. We're going to actually monkey around with the digi one, just because I think it's prettier. So get that out of there. What you're going to get is your instruction manual. Very basic manual, because the gun is a pump, doesn't have any firing modes, doesn't have any of that craziness going on with it. All you need is a very straightforward manual. You're going to have your gun. Going to get barrel sleeve, parts, extra cup seal, which is always a plus in a gun like these, O-rings, screws, and an extra guide rod right there, which just in case your guide rod ever goes bad, you get another one in there. And then also your barrel. Now the nice thing about their barrels, which helps with the problem that every pump player or anybody who's ever shot an autococker has, is that if you don't properly bore size your paint to barrel match, after you've cocked your gun, you tilt your gun forward, you happen to run or move or something like that, the ball rolls out the end of your barrel before you've even shot it. So to combat that potential problem, what they've done is at the end right here, they've cut notches into the barrel, and they have put an O-ring on there. Now, because they've cut notches, that O-ring actually slightly protrudes into the cavity of the barrel inside here. The O-ring sticking in there will help with the ball. It won't want to let the ball easily just fall right through, holds the ball back. It works basically as a detent system inside the barrel, which is awesome. So if you don't want to properly do paint bore sizing or anything like that, you can use that stock barrel and it will hold all the paint back and you don't have to worry about it. Most pump players I know, though, are pretty particular about their paint and the barrels they use, so that might not be a factor with them. As far as any pump goes, though, it's pretty straightforward. Pump handle at the front. It has a nice, easy pump stroke to it. Very simple. Nice, forceful return as well, so you don't have to feel like you need to pull it back forward. Inline regulator. Pressure is adjusted through the bottom right here. They say that these are preset from the factory, so you shouldn't need to adjust them, and that you should only really be doing velocity adjustment through the back. But if you've got this thing cranked all the way in and you're not achieving the proper velocity, you could always increase this a little bit and then back this up and go from there. But they say you shouldn't need to touch that, so I would go by what they say. ASA at the bottom, 2-finger trigger. I mean, that's really up to you as far as that's a plus or a minus. You don't really need a 2-finger trigger for a pump gun. You could go with single trigger, really doesn't matter. Twisting feed neck at the top. So the clamping version, you twist it down to lock your feed neck in. I've seen that these can be problematic sometimes. You just can't twist them hard enough always to get them to really grip. So you can replace these. You can thread them out and thread in different feed neck with a lever lock on it. Dual detent system, so you've got covers on both sides which house your detents on the inside. They are not eyes, so don't think the gun has eyes in it. On-off safety right there, and obviously the pump mechanism on the back. Now we can pull the bolt easily out the back like so, and then if I undo this, we can get all our internals out of there. Let's see if I can actually get them out of there without having to frame it off. There we go. So we've got our striker, we've got our spring, we've got our spring guide, which is our velocity adjuster inside of there. A lot of people complain about the farting noise that these have when they shoot. For what you get for the gun, you know, I don't think that's really that big of an issue. It does make a little bit of noise, but whatever. I guess that's a drawback for some people. It doesn't bother me at all when I'm shooting this kind of setup or any kind of pump gun really. So I wouldn't let that be a deterring factor into you purchasing a gun like this, because they're great shooters. Very simple maintenance. You do some cleaning, There's not even really much you need to do with the striker here. Just keep it clean, keep it lubricated, and the gun's going to run forever. Because it's a pump, there's not much really to go wrong with it. So if you're in the market for a pump gun, don't want to break the bank on it, check these out. These are the KP pumps from Azodin in either the Digicam print or the black print. Check the website for availability and order yours now through ANSgear.com.